Darkness. Every good CAD tutorial starts with darkness. One thing that's important to think about is how with your eyes you can only see in a small amount of directions, but with your ears you can hear from all around a full 360 degrees, which is why we'll be using Fusion 360 for this tutorial. My name is Lego Batman, and I'm here to teach you about how to use CAD to make Legos and to build things, to solve problems and design. To begin, we're going to start off by creating a new folder inside of our larger folder. In this case, we're going to call it U3.8-LEGO space PROJECT. That's Lego Project, because I'm Lego Batman. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to build my arch nemesis, the blue Lego. You can see this Lego in this photograph. The blue one's the one on the left in case you're colorblind. And yes, I've known this Lego a long time. Today, we will create a model of this Lego so that we can then see how he works. To begin, we're going to start with a sketch. I'm going to right click, pick sketch, then do a 2-point rectangle, selecting the plane on the bottom here. This is my XY plane. Now my XY plane is going to go ahead and I'm going to start off at the origin and I move up and to the right. The Lego's not very big, and so his size is actually going to be 0.31. Then hit tab and do 0.62. Then I'm going to double click so I can zoom in. Zoom! Alright. Then I use the hand of justice to center my Lego. The base, fully dimensioned, and that's why it's black. Then I click Finish Sketch. Once I finish my sketch, I'll return to my home view and then look to extrude it by pressing E. Because I'm a detective, I always use the key commands, and I'm quick that way. I start lifting up the Lego, and I'm going to set this to a height of 0.38. That's 0.38, and then hit enter. Now I have the main body of the Lego. The next thing I need to do is create the cylindrical column. To do this, I start a sketch on the top. Sketch. And now I move to the top. In this case, I'll want to begin with a line tool. If I hit P, that's going to project the geometry, and I can select the outsides of the Lego and the main Lego to make sure that I'm able to dimension off of that. Then I click OK. Once I've projected the geometry there, then I'll be able to use lines to then create the framework for the Lego columns. To begin this process, I'm going to go ahead and use some construction lines. So I want to click on construction here to enable construction lines, then move on the left side till I get to the middle point. The midpoint is marked by a triangle. I'll left click, drag across, and left click again. I know this line splits it right in the middle. From there, I'm going to go ahead and create a circle. I'm going to turn off my construction lines so it's a regular circle. Then I'm going to click on the construction line and open this circle up, and then I'll type 0.192 and hit enter. In this case, the circle is still blue on the outside, which means it's not fully defined. So here, we need to go ahead and dimension from the center point to the edge. Then we drag across and we left click. Here, we need to divide our value of 0.62 by 4 to create the perfect dimension. So 6.2 divided by 4 is going to be equal to none other than 0.155. Then I hit enter again. The dimension then turns the circle into a black circle, meaning it is fully constrained, which is what we like. The handcuffs of justice are constraints. Okay, finished sketch. That was sweet. Now we're back in our home view, and we're going to extrude this column vertical up. We hit E, we click on the circle, we grab the arrow, we drag the arrow upward. In this case, we set it to 0.07, then hit enter. Now we have one column for our Lego. So now, we have to give it its most identifying characteristic, the Lego of the Lego. To do this, we need to create a new sketch that starts on the cylindrical column. Then, we're going to hit create and pick text, where we'll be able to type. I'm going to click here to start off. Then, I'm going to type Lego, Lego. As you can see, that's giant, so we need to shrink it. We need to pick a font. Sources say that Arial Narrow is the font that's used when it's italicized for the Lego logo. Now, I'm going to take the height of this Lego word, and I'm going to shrink it down, and we're going to make it 0.07, so it's nice and little. Now we're going to rotate it 90 degrees so it's in the right location. Lastly, we're going to grab this little dot and we drag it so it fits right in the middle of the circles there. And then we're going to click OK. Finish sketch. From here, we're going to extrude the little Lego sketch. If we grab on, initially it's picking this circle, which is not what we want. So we're going to close that out, canceling that. Then we're going to carefully select just the Lego word. Then we extrude this in a vertical direction, a very small amount, 0.005. Then click OK. Now you can see the Lego with the words and the cylindrical column are all in place. Now we want more than one of these, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our rectangular pattern tool. In this case, we're going to grab not just the faces, but the features themselves, clicking on this and the Lego words both, so that both will propagate down the length of the Lego. Initially, then we pick a direction. We'll choose this edge and then pull this outward. As you can see, it's already got 3 holes or 3 columns. We don't want that. We just want 2. Then the distance between these is going to be the same as half the distance of the length of that Lego. So in this case, we will type 0.310, then hit enter. Now the 2 parts of the Lego are complete, and we're going to begin to work on the underbelly of the Lego, the dark side, if you will. See the Lego? It's hollow in here, and the way we do that is by using the shell. The shell tool selects the bottom and then it asks for a thickness for the shell. In this case, we will have a thickness of 0.06 shelling. That puts 0.0 wall thickness on each of the sides, and then we hit OK. Important to this feature is to notice that it also hollows out the cavities for the cylindrical columns, just like in the little blue Lego. Now that we've finished this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create the cylindrical column that comes out of the Lego. So, we're going to start with a new sketch and place it on the bottom face of the Lego. Once again, I'm going to go with construction lines because they're easier than measuring. So I begin on the left-hand side, but you'll notice that there's nothing coming up when I try to make my line. If I mark to the center, then I get triangle, left click, move across, triangle, left click. Up to the middle, move across, lock to the center, left click, down, left click. Now we have a hash mark, just like on a sniper. And there we can see we're going to put the little circle that is in the center. You're going to need to remember to turn off construction lines. Click on the middle part, then open our circle from there. In this case, we want a diameter of 0.115. Then hit enter. Now we're going to go ahead and pick the rectangle tool. And the rectangle tool, in this case, we're not going to go and we're not going to use the normal rectangle that we've been using, but instead we're going to go for a center rectangle. If I click on the center of the circle, move up and out, now I know the length is already 0.19. We want that to stay. Then I'm going to hit tab, and I want this thickness to be 0.035. Then I'm going to hit enter. Now I have the two sketches for the bottom of the Lego. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extrude this after I finish the sketch. So I finish my sketch and I'm going to select each of the parts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This gives me the base, and from there I'm going to go ahead and tilt this to a view, and then we're going to extrude towards the bottom of the Lego. But you're going to notice that these little edges don't quite make it up to the top, so we're not going to extrude all the way. So the value of this extrude needs to be 0.25. Then hit enter. Now if we extruded on the bottom, we're going to go ahead and we're going to once again make a new sketch, except this time on this face. We're going to use the circle tool. We're going to find the very center and then move out to the same size circle. Then left click. Now we're going to go ahead and finish the sketch. And we're going to extrude this the rest of the way until it's even with the bottom of the Lego. Click extrude and go pull from there. 0.07. Enter. Just to verify that we've gone the right distance, you can flip around, make sure that it doesn't stick out at all, and you're good. So now, the Lego itself has been built in its entirety. There's only one last piece to consider, and that's the disguise of the Lego. So we're going to go ahead and hit A to find an appearance for this particular Lego. In this case, we know that's plastic, so we're going to open up the plastic. Then going to go ahead and start off with picking maybe, you know what, I don't like any of these colors. Instead, we're going to switch over to the paint and click on that. Then look at powder coat paint. So in this case, let's go with a glossy paint. Oh, there we go. There's our blue. But now we're going to want to change this color a little bit. So I'm going to click up here, and then I want to right click and go edit. Once I click edit, then I can adjust the color of the Lego to match the blue perfectly. You can adjust down here too. Try to find that ideal figure for this particular Lego. A little bit darker. Maybe that's there. It's not the perfect color, but what the hell. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and click done. Now we've got this Lego fully built. I'm gonna click save. I want to open this up into my Lego project. And then I want to call this Blue Lego. Then click save. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Lego. The one that we're looking for. If you've seen him, make sure you contact me. Use the bat signal. If you don't have a giant projector thing, well, I don't know, maybe smoke signals or something. Alright, I'll talk to you soon. I have to go save the day.